everyone. Today I'll be talking about food insecurity and food wastage in Pakistan and around the world. Many of you might be aware of food wastage, but some aren't. Don't worry, we hope that this video will help you gain more knowledge on the issue. I will also be discussing the meaning of food wastage and food insecurity, the effects of it in our society, and analyze different perspectives on it. According to Harvard, the definition of food wastage is food waste refers to food that is fit for consumption but consciously discarded at the retail or consumption phases. To give you an idea of what food wastage looks like, it can look like this, and this. According to the UN, approximately 3.1 million children die from undernutrition each year. Hunger and undernutrition contribute to more than half of global child deaths, as undernutrition can make children more vulnerable to illness and exacerbate disease. For a national perspective, we researched food wastage in Pakistan. An estimated 36 million tons of food is wasted in Pakistan every year. This is equivalent to every citizen of Karachi, Lahore, and Hyderabad tossing out entire lunches and dinners every day. According to a newspaper, Dawn, 40% of food in Pakistan is wasted. This includes food loss during the supply chain production, post-harvest handling, agro-processing, distribution, and consumption that occurs every year. Owing to extreme weather conditions, food loss in this country is expected to be higher than computed by agriculture departments. A few reasons of food wastage in Pakistan are that food waste is common at wedding ceremonies. Most reception dinners take place at midnight, and by that time, intensely hungry people rush towards food tables, filling their plates excessively. Nearly half of the food in their plates is uneaten and goes to waste. If wedding dinner times are moved back to 8 p.m., food waste would not occur as guests would be moderately hungry. Moreover, an earlier time will allow people to behave in an orderly manner. In addition to ceremonies, nearly 40 pieces of food wastage also occurs as various hotel banquets. Reportedly, in a major hotel in Islamabad, 870 kg of food is wasted each day. According to the outgoing country director of World Food Programme, Lola Castro, 43 pieces of the country's population remains food insecure, with 18 pieces facing a severe shortage. The Global Hunger Index 2016 ranks Pakistan as a country with serious hunger level. Wastage of food has many consequences. While 2.5 liters of water are sufficient for drinking each day, it takes about 3,500 liters to produce the food a person needs each day. Food waste impacts natural resources in terms of land and soil degradation. Agriculture cultivation involves use of fertilizers and pesticides. Transportation uses fuel and produces emissions. And storage involves use of electricity. All these resources go to waste when food is wasted. For a local perspective, in our school community, during break, we surveyed 20 7th grade students to get their opinion on what they think is the most significant cause of food insecurity. Findings from our survey indicate that most of the 7th graders in our school community think that the most significant cause of food insecurity is food wastage. The other half thinks it's due to poverty, and some also believe that it is because of climate change and gender inequality. In addition to our local perspective, we also interviewed a sociology teacher in our school during break to gain an expert's perspective and to expand our knowledge. The first question we asked was, what do you think about food wastage in our society? She said, there is not much food wastage in our society due to recycling. We do not waste that much food in our households and we tend to give it away. Religion also has a major impact and encourages us not to waste food. Second question, what is the relationship between food insecurity and food wastage? Because there's a lot of food insecurity related to where your next meal might come from, sometimes we tend to hoard our food supplies, especially the majority who are able to afford the supplies. This commonly happened in COVID times. People would often have full pantries and the food had lots of expiry dates that almost came to an end. Due to this, lots of food was being wasted. Third question, how can we prevent food wastage? In our society, there isn't that much food wastage. Globally, I know that they have salvation armies such as the Robin Hood Army, where they collect food from restaurants and events where there's a lot of food being prepared. I think those are the movements that would need to happen. Of course, the most exposure everyone has on how much food is really needed, that would help in terms of not just producing but also in consumption. Fourth question, what kind of problems can food wastage cause in society? I think that there is a lot of food insecurity in society. It could always result in rebellion or unrest, and it would hamper development in the sense that if you're constantly worried about where your next meal is coming from, you can't go ahead and do a higher order thinking. At every age, if this insecurity is not taken away, then higher order thinking will not happen. And if higher order thinking does not happen, then the solution will never come because we would be stuck in the same cycle or pattern. Last question. Do you know of any organizations worthy of preventing food wastage in our society? In our society is the Robin Hood Army, which is also international as well. Globally, there is an International Waste Coalition and there is also the Food Tank. For a global perspective, I researched on food wastage in Saudi Arabia. In Saudi Arabia, around 33% of food goes to waste, worth over 40.4 billion riyals, which is equivalent to 10.77 billion US dollars. The average food waste per capita is 250 kgs per year, whereas the world average is about 150 kgs. On a global scale, the level of food waste per capita in Saudi Arabia is very high. The per capita food waste in Saudi Arabia is about 1.3 kg every day, amounting to 470 kg a year. Some reasons of food wastage in Saudi Arabia are that approximately half of this waste generation occurs at household level. Food wastage is caused due to lack of awareness and no law regarding the issue and so on. It contributes to national economic problems by increasing dependence on imported food. The consequences of food wastage are that Saudi Arabia has limited land and water needed for food production, and food waste means that scarce resources are expended on food that is not consumed. More Saudi citizens will feel food insecure in the years to come due to the shrinking of freshwater resources. In addition, social and moral dilemmas arise when huge volumes of edible food are discarded while a significant number of people do not have enough to eat. Moreover, 1 out of 5 Saudi citizens experienced hunger or food insecurity in 2020. Furthermore, food insecure people are increasing by 1 to 3%. Japan has come up with many smart solutions for food wastage, and some are that the Japanese government has been asking the public to reduce wasted food for years, as the country wastes a concerning amount of food every year. In the search for a solution to the problem, the Japanese society has come up with multiple methods. Japan produces about 27.59 million tons of food waste each year, according to the Ministry of the Environment. Apart from the food waste that can be reused, 6.43 million tons of edible food is thrown away, equivalent to about 51 kilograms of waste per person every year. In recent years, smartphones have played a major role in cutting down on wasted food. In 2018, a mobile app called Tibet, which means please eat in Japanese, was launched in cities like Tokyo and Osaka, aiming to use digital technology to save food that might go to waste. Tibet has 2,100 participating restaurants and stores that use the app to prevent leftover food from being wasted. Since launch, over 300,000 meals have been rescued on Tibet, equating to 152 tons of food. Stores can register bags of leftover food on the app. Users can then purchase the food through the app and schedule a time to collect it from the store. Coca-Cola Bottlers Japan Ltd serve a network of 250,000 outlets and 700,000 vending machines in Japan without waste. This is due to Coca-Cola using baseline modeling to forecast demand and constraints in the market. By paying attention to data, Coca-Cola delivers 500 million cases of products just in time, resulting in extended shelf life, less spoilage, and less waste. Coca-Cola employs technology to track data at all levels of production, such as IoT implemented in factories and during products transportation. Now that you hopefully have a clear understanding of what food wastage is, you can now try these 5 easy ways to prevent it. The first point is that donate safe, nutritious food to food banks, food pantries, and food rescue programs. Move older food products to the front of the fridge, cupboard, or freezer and just purchased ones to the back. This makes it more likely that foods will be consumed before they go bad. Compost food scraps for use in the garden. Check product dates on foods. Many consumers misunderstand the purpose and meaning of the date labels that often appear on packaged foods. Confusion over date labeling accounts for an estimated 20% of consumer food waste. The fifth and final point is look for recipes on websites that can be searched for by ingredients to use up food at home. Conclusion. We hope that our video has enhanced your knowledge about this issue. Now, before you throw away your food, think about the countless people who can't afford to eat 3 times a day. Try to give away the food to people around your neighborhood who have an empty stomach.